everyone, and welcome back to the Cabral Concept. I'm Stephen Cabral, board-certified naturopathic doctor. Can't wait to get into today's second house call of the weekend. Looking forward, as always, to answering our community's questions. I do hope you tuned in yesterday because we literally went over some amazing questions. We're trying to catch back up. That always seems to be the theme as well. But we went over things such as protocols like coffee enemas. We went over rebounding. We went over overall stress, how to decrease stress in a lifestyle, where to start. We went over bodily constitutions. We talked about things like mung bean and lentils, but also lectins. We talked about my thoughts on intermittent fasting. So really, so many things transpired on that particular podcast. I do hope you check it out. That was stephencabral.com/750. Check that one out. And today, we have more of our community's questions. We'll be going over, as always, everything wellness, weight loss, and anti-aging, and of course, everything in between. So that could be in terms of mindset and motivation. It could be mentorship questions. It could be supplements. It could be labs. It could be anything in the world. I'm going to do my best to answer that question. And if I don't have the answer, I'm going to at least point you in the right direction. That's what I feel that I'm able to do now after many, many years in this profession. And really having seen now, in our practice, more than a couple 100,000 client appointments. So we have the data, we know it works, and what I'd really like to do is just share some of that insight with you, whether you're a health practitioner trying to help others, personal trainer, nutritionist, MD, ND, you name it, or you are on the path to healing yourself or trying to do that for a family member. That's what it's all about. We've really built up an amazing community. Couldn't be really more proud of all the people out there right now in the Facebook group who are trying to help others. That's really what it's all about. Just to see that every day is, honestly, it's mind-blowing. I'm grateful every single day for what people are doing in this community to help others. So hopefully I'm able to share a little bit of insight right now. Let's get started. Okay, so our first question today is from Karin. She writes in, "Hi, Dr. Cabral. I heard your podcast with Melissa Ambrosini, and I've been obsessed with your podcast. You've given me some hope. My issue is acne. And I know you've talked about it a lot and seen it a lot, but I really can't get a clear view what my cause is and what I need to do. I live in Australia and can't do your detox. If you know of a similar one in Australia that you would recommend, please let me know. My acne started as a teenager. Over the years, I've gone on Accutane, which has helped, but I never ever want to do it again. Horrible drugs. I was diagnosed with PCOS a few years ago. I changed my lifestyle, eat well, and cleaned out a lot of the chemicals and toxins in my house and life. I would say I'm on a good path. Through these changes, I was able to regulate my period. However, my skin never cleared. I feel like I've tried it all. 2 years ago, I fell pregnant, and my skin was amazing throughout breastfeeding. Then when I stopped and my period began again, the acne came back. It's all started with tiny bumps on my forehead, on my chest, and the odd one on my back. I feel like this might give you some insight. A few questions. Does the location of acne relate to the specific problems? For example, forehead with digestion, chin hormones. I had a jaw operation as a teenager and have 2 screws in my jaw now for life. Would this metal have an effect on me? Not exactly sure what type of metal it is. If I can't do your detox, how to clean my blood? Other suggestions or detoxes you recommend? From my story, you can tell my problem is coming from. I saw a naturopath and she advised I am slightly acidic and prescribed an alkalizing drink, such as vitamin C and zinc supplement. I was also low on zinc. I must say, this has helped and I would like to continue with this. What kind of lab do you recommend? I would like to look into where I could find them here in Australia. Thank you for your help. There must be an underlying issue, but I'm not sure what to do to find it. Another random question. We don't really get wild-caught salmon here much. What is your take on canned wild salmon? All right, Karin, so many questions. All great, though, and I'm looking forward to answering these. And honestly, this is actually very straightforward. I know it seems super confusing, and it always does. It always does in the beginning. But I've seen this so many times, and you gave me a very clear path of where to go. All right. Number 1, we now ship to Australia so that you can get the Dr. Cabral detox there, you can get the labs there, you can get everything in the world now to Australia. So we're really excited about that. Really what we had to do is just work with our fulfillment house and shippers to make sure that we could get those things to Australia safely each time. That's basically it. So, and we also had to find out the average cost for shipping, which, as you know, to Australia can be sometimes expensive. So what we do is we take that average rate, and that's just what we give you. So it could be a little bit more, but we do pay for a lot of the shipping. But of course, there's that charge. Okay, so here we go. You gave me a really good clue. Your acne cleared up when you were breastfeeding. Okay, I always ask people if they ever have bloating, if they ever have acne, if they've ever had autoimmune, and just say, has there ever been a point in your life when you felt better? So if you're a health practitioner out there, try to always ask your patients that question. Has there ever been a time in your life where this symptom went away? And sometimes people tell me when I'm on vacation, so I can look at, oh, well, maybe it's stress. Or I'm in the sun. Okay, well, I can say, well, then it has to do with X, Y, and Z because of being out in the sun. So, I mean, there's a lot of different insight you can get from that. Well, your hormones change when you're breastfeeding. So what we're most likely looking at is still a hormonal-based imbalance. Here's what I recommend. I recommend when your symptoms are worst, when your acne is the worst, maybe it's 5 days or so before you get your menstrual cycle, I want you to run the thyroid adrenal hormone panel. Okay, that's what I would like you to do. When you do that, you're going to see what your hormones look like, and then we'll be able to give you an insight as to what's off. Is it the thyroid? Is it the cortisol levels? Is the estrogen? Is the progesterone? Or is the testosterone? It seems like in the background, lurking in your background, is the propensity towards PCOS. So we need to look at blood sugar regulation, inflammation, higher levels of androgens and testosterone, looking at insulin levels, looking at vitamin D. All of these things are vitally important. So I would run 2 labs. 1, the thyroid hormone adrenal, and number 2, the organic acids test to look at candida overgrowth or bacterial overgrowth, because if those things are there, then of course we need to get rid of them. All right, that's what I would recommend, and let's see if there's anything else in there. Alkalizing vitamin C. Yes, I recommend alkalizing vitamin C for you. Equilibrium Nutrition, which I formulate for, is a great product that you can take every morning, and you can also take it before bed if you choose to get more of those alkalizing minerals. All it is minerals. People go wild over the acid alkaline debate. If you add minerals to water, it becomes alkaline. Mystery solved. There's not a lot of complication. I'm being facetious, of course, but there's not a lot of mystery around that right there. You add phosphoric acid to a soda, and you're going to make it more acidic. Okay, let's see what else. Yes, zinc is a great supplement for your skin. Omega-3s are great for your skin if you're just looking for good overall supplements, and then making sure your vitamin D is optimized, and that would show up on that thyroid adrenal hormone lab. So, and then the last question is about salmon. So, wild-caught salmon in a can, I'm okay with that. I mean, is it the best choice? Well, not as good as, literally catching the salmon out of the ocean yourself, but I always joke around because it's like best relative choice, meaning like, what are we comparing that to? Canned wild salmon versus what? It's always versus what? I mean, versus, a grain-fed steak? Yeah, wild salmon from a can is much better. So yes, I would always look at that. Now, you're looking at canned. Try to get a BPA-free can if you can. I think you have to make your best relative choice, and so I'm okay with that. All right. Again, I live in the real world. I try to give real-world answers. So next up is Leah, or Lee, L-E-I-G-H. The next 2 names I'm going to have a lot of difficulty pronouncing, and that is one of those things that I'll just always have a challenge with, I guess. I don't know. And so you can always spell it phonetically. That's fun for me, too, to try to read the phonetic spelling, too. All right, so Lee's asking, hi, I'm interested in your home testing, but I live in Australia. Is there anyone over here that you could suggest that offers similar testing? Regards, Lee. Okay, so here's the deal. These questions all came in about a month ago because we're not able to get back to you right away. But remember, go to cabralsupportgroup.com, cabralsupportgroup.com. Very simple questions like this. We can answer it for you the same exact day. You want to email us? Email us at support@stephencabral.com. I have no problem with you emailing us. I mean, literally, we're not one of those companies. I don't even like to refer to us as a company. We're more like an institute. We're trying to teach. Ask us questions. I mean, we're really here to help. I have a team that I've done my best to train and hire. And honestly, the people that I hire that you interact with every day are just great human beings. And that's what we try to do here. And so just ask them the question. But we ship to Australia now. So any lab that you would like, I think any lab except the stool test, we can ship to Australia. And I think the only reason with the stool test, we'll check on that if you want to do the stool test. But the reason is I'm not sure that we'll be able to get it back to the lab in time. Remember, we're not the lab. We just make it easy for you. We open source healthcare, true healthcare, not sick care, but real healthcare. My goal is to simply allow you to never have to ask your doctor to run this and that, because it's crazy. But a lot of MDs and doctors are like, why do you want to run that? What are you thinking? They talk down to you. It's condescending. It's absolutely absurd. If you want to learn more about your body, why shouldn't you be able to learn more about your body? If you want to run your vitamin D, your homocysteine, your CRP, or TPO antibodies, or you want to run some crazy number, why not? What's wrong with that? It's out of education. So that's the thing. I don't want you to have to get permission. It's your body. You choose to do what you like. And you don't have to do it through us. You don't. I'm just trying to give you the option. And also, when you do it with us, you get my reading of your test results. And you also get a coaching call. We make sure that so that you understand your results and you get my recommendations and my health coach recommendations. We just really, I don't know how any other way to say it. We believe in what we do. We know that you can get results, and we just want to make it the most seamless transaction possible. That's essentially it. So, okay, that's a long-winded answer to say we can ship to Australia. All right, next up is Panagiota. And I'm going to take a stab at this name. Panagiota. And if I'm correct, great. Or yeah, let's just go with Panagiota. And I apologize. I know it's me, not you, of course, with writing in. And by the way, no one can pronounce Stephen, my first name. Whenever it's read out loud, people always pronounce it Stefan or Stepen. It's just another way of spelling Stephen. But anyway, I digress. So your question is, hi, I love your podcast. I have recurring cold sores on my lip. I've been using Abreva and it helps, but I constantly need to use it. I'm looking forward to your advice how to heal this annoying problem. Okay, I've actually talked about herpes cold sores all the time. I'm going to simply link up the episode to give you your answer. So in the future, what I want to do is I'm just going to link up the cold sores answers because I give you a whole protocol. I literally tell you the lysine to use. I tell you the GSE. I tell you the zinc, apple cider vinegar. I give you all the different things and at the dosages. So instead of spending time on that question, I'll give you the back episode so that we can get more people's questions answered because I do have about 50 questions in the queue right now going on. So happy to link back to that. Kelly's up next. Kelly's asking, hello and Happy New Year, Dr. Cabral. On podcast 702, you mentioned you needed someone to reorganize your podcast collection. I would be happy to work remotely. I live in Colorado. I'm currently employed in medical records. Okay. It's funny because I'm literally getting all of the questions today. Thank you, Kelly. And we may take you up on that. We appreciate it. And it just says, thank you for all you do for disrupting the corrupted healthcare system. I'm currently on day 6 of the 21-day Dr. Cabral detox. Happy to hear that you are and will have now completed the 21-day detox. Can't wait to hear about those results. Please leave those results, maybe some before and after photos at cabralsupportgroup.com. That's our free Facebook group. I'm in there at least 2 to 3 times a week, and my health coaches are answering questions multiple times per day in there. So I would love to see that, and we might take you up on that offer right there as well. So thank you, Kelly, and I will I'm going to highlight your question in green right now. I just did that. All right. Lynn's up next. What are your thoughts on the Les Mills body pump classes as a 3-day per week full body workout? The classes are full body weighted exercises with a focus on high reps, thus requiring lower rates that I would normally do for weighted exercises with 8 to 10 reps. Okay, so a Les Mills body pump class, they've been around for decades. I honestly don't have a huge problem with them, but I have a problem with them the same way I have a problem with older school boot camp, meaning that, so when we're looking at CrossFit, we're looking at doing it time-wise, trying to do it as fast as we can. Now, CrossFit is transforming and morphing, which is a good thing, but you're using heavy weights, right, for your max of X number of reps. Now, Les Mills is the opposite. You might do like 200 squats, 200 lunges in a class. So what are the issues with Les Mills body pump classes? Again, not the worst thing in the world, but if you're using poor form or if you're just doing it too often, you can end up with what's called repetitive motion exercise damage to the joints. What does that mean? Repetitive motion just means you've done that exercise for too many reps in too short a period of time, okay? It's kind of like playing tennis. You can get wrist, elbow, shoulder-based issues. Because why? Well, you're swinging your racket 200, 300, 500 times per exercise, per round, right? And only on one side. With golf, when you go to the driving range, you're swinging that 100 times, 150 times, all in one direction. You can end up imbalanced and with repetitive motion damage. If you're doing pretty well, you're feeling good, great. Honestly, I don't want to stop you from doing it, but maybe in the future you do them on a Monday and Friday, and then on a Tuesday and Thursday, you're doing other resistance-based training or intervals or a spin class or something like that. So I actually have no problem with them. I would love to see you balance that, though, with the 8 to 10 rep exercises with a little bit heavier weight. And, of course, just really make sure, Lynn, that you're using great form, that the knees aren't flipping or not bending over the toes. You're sitting back on your heels for your squats, your lunges, that you're getting those glutes and hamstrings activated. Okay. Great question, though. Really great question. Michelle's up next. Hi, Dr. Cabral. I love your show, and I'm currently attempting to go through the backlog of your shows for information to help my family become healthier. It's such an amazing source of information. Thank you for your transparency of information. It's such a blessing. I have just received my son's stool results. He's an autistic 3-year-old with Clostridium overgrowth and high fecal inflammation. we are being put on Flagyl. I was wondering if we should also use biocidin once we were off the antibiotic. We are giving him Saccharomyces boulardii while on the antibiotic. We have also found high levels of metals. I was wondering if we should wait to heal his gut before beginning any sort of natural chelation or heavy metal detox. What would be your course of action and timeline for my son? On a side note, I bought your detox program, but I am waiting to hear whether I should wait to begin the program until after I'm done breastfeeding. Thank you for all you do for our community. All right, Michelle, a bunch of little questions all laid into one. Happy to answer all of those, and really, really proud of you for taking control of your son's health. There's so much you can do for any child with autism, executive function disorder, ADD, ADHD, right? Anything. And we see a lot of children in our practice. And the great thing is that they're good healers. They really are. If we can start to get that gut fixed up and we can start to get that inflammation under control, right? Because we're going to be able to also rebalance that immune system. So if you're using Flagyl, fine. Make sure that after that, you are using the biocidin. I can't recommend enough a product like Florafilm, okay? That's part of our children's candida and bacterial overgrowth protocol. You might want to think about using that with your son. We get great results with children with autism, ADD, ADHD, again, executive function disorder, tics, anything like that, okay? So here's why. Is the Flagyl's fine, fine. I'm willing to do whatever it takes, right? That's it. But to my knowledge, it doesn't remove the biofilm. So what I want you to do is use a product such as Florafilm. Sorry, I had a little brain cramp there, I guess. And that's going to remove that biofilm. You can take it while using Flagyl. You would just take it upon an empty stomach. You just add it to water. That's all. Water with your 3-year-old. And then the biocidin can go in that if you'd like as well. That's totally fine. Once you're coming off that, we're going to be using either acidophilus or clean gut probiotic. That's going to contain the Saccharomyces boulardii with the good strains of bacteria. Your son should probably run a hair tissue mineral analysis as well. And then that's going to help with, you might want to run an organic acid test before doing all of this. That's going to look for the candida overgrowth as well. So you could do that, or the hair tissue mineral analysis to see if he has high levels of copper, because a lot of time we're using zinc with children as well. That helps tremendously. And we're also using vitamin C, which is a natural and gentle chelator. Once your son's doing better, a little stronger, we'll use the heavy metal detox, but at half the dosage. So we'll use the Craxel chlorella, we'll use the cilantro, and we will use the vitamin C. And then your question was, you will wait to do the detox until you're done breastfeeding. Hopefully that helps. And great questions. Thank you, Michelle. Joshua is up next. Joshua's asking, Dr. Cabral, I started taking a supplement called Restore for Life and immediately got violently ill. Extreme pain around my pelvic bone, lower back, side cramps, and flu-like symptoms. I took a couple days off, but upon reintroducing it, the symptoms return. Is it possible I'm having a Herxheimer reaction? I can't decide whether or not to use this product. Josh, let me get rid of your last name so we keep this just as Josh. Okay, so Josh, let's see if we can get you your answer. Restore for Life, I think, is the parent company. A lot of people have used this product and got pretty good results. However, I'll just let you know that usually those good results don't come until after something like a candida and bacterial overgrowth protocol. So, of course, that's the name of my protocol. You're welcome to use any functional medicine-based protocol that lasts at least 6 to 10 weeks. Just keep in mind, really hard to get rid of a lifetime of candida overgrowth or bacterial overgrowth and biofilms in less than 6 weeks. Even the DOs that I know and integrative MDs who like to use nystatin and diflucan for yeast overgrowth, as well as other antibiotics, use antibiotics for at least, or nystatin, for at least 6 to 12 weeks. So they're just doing it with drugs rather than natural herbal-based and biofilm disruptors, but they're still they know that it takes months to get rid of this stuff, really, because it's been there a while and you need to reset it. So here's the thing, Josh, it contains a sulfur. Some people just don't do well with sulfur-based compounds. It contains methionine. You might just not be a good converter of methionine. And it also, I believe, contains histidine, and that may cause some type of, again, reaction in your body. Now, all of these things are at minute levels. It shouldn't cause an issue, but the sulfur bromide certainly may. Here's what I would do. First, really, I don't see this product literally getting rid of candida and bacterial overgrowth. I don't see that because there doesn't see any way possible that there's anything to disrupt the biofilms or remove. What it would do is actually start to feed good, healthy bacteria as well. So that's why I believe it's a product that if you love it, you love the company, you would want to use that to rebuild the gut, just like you might want to try fermented-based foods after you remove these things, right? So you go through something like the Candida bacterial overgrowth protocol. Just check it out. I mean, see if it's the right fit for you, or find something similar, and then you would use this product. So, Josh, that's the best way to really use this. I think maybe you just literally put the cart before the horse. That's it. Could be a good product in the future. Seems like you have some overgrowth. Probably not the best thing to use right now until you get that body cleaned up. All right, let's do one more question here. Okay. Michael's writing in, "Hey, Dr. Cabral and staff, my name is Michael, and I've been listening to your podcast for over a year. Love the information and all the aspects on health, particularly how you're now adding a lot of Ayurvedic influence to your podcast. I've recently purchased a couple of Ayurvedic books myself and started adding it to my daily routine to give me some more insight and perspective on this ancient practice. The reason I'm contacting you today is actually pertaining to your CBD oil. I've been working with CBD oil for 3 years now. I've not come across a supercritical CO2 extracted oil that just contains hemp. Other oils have MCT, coconut, sunflower oils, etc. I'm not against those oils because I know they are beneficial as well, but I'm looking to start my own CBD oil company in Nevada and start selling to my clients. And I would like to carry an oil like yours in my facility. I appreciate if you can point me in the right direction of getting started on purchasing oil in bulk. Thank you for your time and dedication to providing top quality information and products, Michael." Okay, so just one thing on this particular topic. We're always happy to help. What we do is we actually go to the farms ourselves. We have working agreements with them. We're able to then start with getting larger quantities. Then we work intimately with the manufacturer. We use license-based manufacturers. We use third-party testing. All of our products are GMP, Good Manufacturer Policy. Is that GMP certified? We also use, like I said, third-party testing outside of the actual manufacturer. And our last batch of CBD oil, this is literally how pure it is. I mean, this is the honest truth. Our last batch, we threw out, well, I shouldn't say this. Our last trial of our CBD, we threw out 5 batches because the THC content was too high. So we're extremely committed to to you. I mean, that's what we are, right? We're committed to our private wellness clients and our online community. And I use this product myself. I literally use this product, CBD oil, at least I would say 3 times a week, minimum 3 times a week still. And that's because I like to use it to really switch gears, get that parasympathetic, decrease inflammation, especially maybe that night after a good workout, or, the mind's going, need to calm it down before bed. Maybe I'm changing time zones, I'm flying, anything like that is where I use it. So, Michael, let me get you started. What I recommend is going to a supplement manufacturer trade show. At those trade shows, you're going to be able to meet all sorts of different manufacturers. When you meet those manufacturers, you're going to find one that fits with you. I can't give you the one that we use, and honestly, it's because we buy in such massive bulk. You'd have to buy in huge bulk, and it's usually cost prohibitive when you're first starting your own company. And again, we've built up to that as well. So that's what I'm recommending. There are so many great trade shows out there, but one I could point you towards is called East West. You know what? I need to confirm that for you to make sure that's what it's called. Engrada, yes, Engrada East West. And they have one in Baltimore, and usually one right in your neck of the woods in Nevada or actually Anaheim, California. East, West. Let's just make sure that's correct. National Products Expo West would be California, and National Products East would be in Baltimore, Maryland. That should get you started. Great question. I'm always happy to help. Like, this was one I've never gotten before, so I'm always happy to help. And if you look, I mean, it's not easy for us to find these great products and farms and all of that, but if you look, you can find it. We've made it happen. It usually takes a while. It took us 6 months to get our first manufacturer for CBD and 8 months to get our second. It takes a while, but it's worth it. If you want the highest quality products in the world, which is what we make sure that we offer, you can make it happen. It will cost a little bit more, but it's better for you, better for the people that you work with as well. Anybody who doesn't know about the CBD oil, I can't recommend enough listening to those particular podcasts. I will link them up in the show notes. For everybody today, just go to stevencabral.com/751. I hope you've had an amazing weekend. Please let me know if you have any questions, and please join me in the community tomorrow. We have an amazing Mindset and Motivation Monday podcast coming up, one of my favorites. Can't wait to share it with you then. Take care. As always, thank you so much for tuning into the Cabral Concept. Your support means the world to me. That's why this month I want to give away my brand new full spectrum vitamin C supplement. This is a product I've been using in my practice now for close to 5 years, but has just debuted on our online store. It combines the absolute best of functional medicine nutrition with natural food-based ingredients, including acerola berry, quercetin, and hibiscus, which are world-renowned anti-inflammatory and anti-aging antioxidants. They literally squelch free radical and oxidative damage in the body while repairing your hair, skin, nails, and muscle tissue. Plus, my new formula also contains a compound hesperidin in orange peels that protects the cardiovascular system and brain. And if that wasn't enough, I added another plant compound called rutin, which is backed up by science to decrease coronary heart disease, cancers, and inflammatory bowel disease. I could go on and on about the importance of vitamin C for the adrenals, heart, balancing inflammation in the body and brain, and so much more, but I'd rather you experience this product for yourself. So, for the first 100 orders over $99 in February 2018, I'm going to automatically add a free bottle on me to your order. This is a product I use every day myself, and I want you to enjoy the same benefits as well. There's a limit of 1 per person while supplies last. Thank you again for tuning into the Cabral concept. And to be one of the first 100, simply go to stephencabral.com/store to get your free bottle of my full spectrum vitamin C.